The high school football pick'em show here on WDUN as we welcome you in to our semifinal playoff edition of the show. Walker McCreary back here in the home studio. Caleb Hutchins and Jeff Hart's in the downtown Gainesville studio just off the square. Bo Wilson on location tonight at a middle school basketball game. Good luck, Sophie. But we're getting ready for semifinal action, guys, and man, it's going to be a fun week. We finally get to see some big red football again. We've got two teams in the semifinals. It should be, Jeff, just a really, really good week of football as we get one step closer to the Benz.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be great. I was getting ready to go to Valdosta. I've never been to Titletown. I've wanted to go be in that stadium. It's kind of like a bucket list for high school football in Georgia. Growing up in Alabama, we knew about Valdosta. So I've never been to a game there and was really excited, but I'm going to have to shift and go to the Gainesville.
I think people in North Dakota knew about Valdosta.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of one of those places you always want to go if you get a chance. I've never had a chance until now to go, and unfortunately, and it's not unfortunately, I mean, two great games. You got Buford and Valdosta, you got Hughes and Gainesville. So I'm going to go to the Gainesville game instead because somebody's got to be there because of all of what's been going on. We have to play that one out to its entirety. I don't think you can go wrong wherever you go to a game this week.
First off, I want to say a huge thanks to Avery Bryson for bringing my headphones to me, which I forgot at the start of the show. Thanks to Avery for that. But I want to say, before we move on to the big games we got this week, I want to talk about some of the stuff that happened last week because I thought we had some very, very interesting things happen last week. First off, the Jefferson game. Easily the game of the night around the Northeast Georgia area. I mean, you talk about Jefferson gets down 21-0 in the first quarter at home to Cairo. And, I mean, listen, I don't feel like it's being disrespectful to Jefferson at all for us to admit that we all thought that was over. Like, I mean, let's be honest. Like, 21-0 in the first, at least I did. And all of a sudden you look up, and Jefferson's got the lead at halftime, and then they kind of run away with it in the second half. Walker, that we talked about it a little bit on the scoreboard show last week, but that was so impressive to me for Jefferson because we had the talking point all year. You know, the Jefferson defense is great, obviously. They've been one of the elite units in the state. But what happens when that defense gets cracked? What happens when the opponent is able to put some points on the board, and can the Jefferson offense be that unit that can respond when their backs are against the wall? And you get down 21-0 in the first quarter. I don't know how many times Jefferson's given up. I don't think Jefferson has given up 21 points to anybody not named North Oconee all year. And the Dragons offense delivered.
Yeah, I mean, and what you really saw in that game was the fact that Jefferson got it started really with the defensive side too. They buckled down finally once they started rolling off a couple touchdowns. Of course, they get the fortuitous safety that made it 21-16, and then it just kind of got rolling there. But I think we talked about it as part of the red zone too last week, which home field was going to bring the 12th man the biggest advantage. And I think you have to say, given everything that happened, that Jefferson's 12th man was definitely the extra factor in that game, Jeff, because Jackson County brought a great crowd. You were there for that Jackson County Rome game, Jeff, but they brought a great crowd. It was just that after that first little bit, Jackson just couldn't get anything going offensively.
No, they couldn't. It's a really the interesting thing about that was the post-game speech that Corey Mobbs had to the team, where he led off. I'm going to be thinking about that one all off season. I would like to have the second half back because in the first half, Daywin Maxwell ran for like 75 to 80 yards in the first half. They were running all over Roswell. They scored on their first three drives. They were getting the ball first in the second half. And to my recollection, and looking back through my notes, I don't think they ran Daywin Maxwell again until midway through the fourth quarter. They just got away from running the ball. They were trying different things. They never could get anything to click because they got away from what got them there, which was running Daywin Maxwell behind that big offensive line, which was doing a great job, and their undersized defense was holding their own against Roswell. So that's why they're going to think about that all off season.
Yeah,
Jackson playing Rome.
Yeah, correct.
What did I say, Roswell?
Yeah.
I meant Rome, sorry. Too many R words.
And this is another point that I brought up on the scoreboard show last week, though, Jeff. To me, that loss does not take away anything from this Jackson County team. I mean, it takes away that obviously they don't get an opportunity to move on to the semifinals, but I feel like statewide there were a lot of people who were questioning, like, how good really was this team? Were they, deserving of being one of the top seeds in the bracket? Because there were comments about their region being weak. But they did exactly what an elite team should do to the schedule that was in front of them, which was they dominated everybody. Mm-hmm. And to me, beating Milton in the second round of the playoffs and going blow for blow with Rome in the quarterfinals, I think Jackson County proved their validity as one of the really strong programs in 5A moving forward with what they did in this postseason, including last Friday.
I would totally agree. Look, let's just be honest. The region was weak. Habersham Central was pretty good, but they got beat in the first round. Clark Central moved through, as they always seem to find a way, but they had a losing record. So, overall, it is a weak region, and it was. But Buford, a lot of times, was in a weak region, and then would go on to win state titles. So you can be a dominant team in a weak region because if you're a dominant team, it's not going to matter what region you're in. And, yes, I think Jackson County certainly was one of the top 8 teams in Class 5A, Walker. And I think it's a testament to the fact that they feel like they did not play their game, and that's why they lost, Walker. I think that shows that they belong.
Yeah, they definitely belong, and be interesting to see what Corey Mobbs does moving forward, trying to replace a lot of the pieces that he's going to lose this offseason. And you mentioned Buford, Jeff. Buford, of course, continues to roll into the semifinals, Caleb. And it was kind of interesting that game was so low scoring early on before the Buford offense kind of exploded there late third quarter, early fourth.
The fact that it was low scoring early on really gave me a good feeling for the Wolves. Because didn't it just kind of feel like that was a game that was playing out right inside of Brian Appling's wheelhouse? Mm-hmm. Like low scoring game, neither team's really getting on the board a lot, but sooner or later you felt like if somebody was going to crack through the wall, it was going to be Buford, because how many times have we seen that play out in playoff games at Buford in years past? That's exactly what happened this time around. Douglas County did have the 199-yard touchdown drive in the third quarter that got it back close. You're thinking, hey, maybe this could come down to the wire. But Buford just got it rolling so effectively. And I think it's a really complimentary football team. You hear Kirby Smart at Georgia use that term a whole lot. It's a very complimentary football team. They're not going to put up numbers on offense that are just going to wow you, but what they do is they do what a offense that is trying to feed an elite defense should do, which is they usually win the field position battle. They usually get at least a first down or two every drive, which means they're usually controlling time of possession. And then when you make the mistake on special teams, turn the ball over, they capitalize and they get points off of it. And by the way, they also can be explosive at times and they can hit some big plays too. But Jeff, to me, that's a really complimentary football team at Buford.
Oh, absolutely. I think, and I was talking to Brian Appling. I did a Q&A with him this week, talking about those kind of things and Buford football and being here. And when they went to the highest classification 4 years ago, the talk was, are we deep enough up front to be able to go, 4 rounds, 5 rounds deep in a juggernaut of a playoff, which is what 6A is. And I think now they are. It's taken them a few years to build the depth up front that you need. They got guys like Bryce Perry Wright. He's leading the team in virtually every statistical category on defense. And with guys like that, they're able to control the line, that's Buford's game.
Yeah, Buford, of course, rolling into the semifinals. I said it on the scoreboard show. I think they are the most complete team in the state of Georgia, absolutely, for sure. Got a great show for you today. The Red Zone is coming up next, as Caleb will have the question. We've got a full complement of Dark Horse Dogs, a lot of games to pick from across all the classifications, and a whole lot more. High School Football Pick'em Show here on News Talk WDUN.
The new news that affects you and the talk that keeps you listening.
We'll continue on with additional discussions today as we stay engaged.
North Georgia's News Talk, AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
It's Mike Robertson of Oakwood Tire and More. As our name suggests, we can handle all your tire needs, but some have asked what we mean when we say and more. At Oakwood Tire, we're more than just tires. We also handle general repair. We handle alignments, brakes, AC service, suspension work. Speaking of suspension work, if you're looking to upgrade your ride, we can put tires, wheels, lift kit, anything like that on there. See us at www.oakwoodtire.com. Stop by at 3120 Atlanta Highway, where we're more than just tires.
If you need on-time expert plumbing service, Conditioned Air Systems is here for you. Our plumbers deliver the highest quality service in North Georgia 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. We've been North Georgia's source for elite residential and commercial services since 1983. Our licensed plumbers offer services for installation and repairs of pipes, water heaters, septic lines, and sump pumps. Choose Conditioned Air Systems for quality service and unmatched knowledge for your plumbing needs.
So it's time to replace your roof. You've seen your neighbor's metal roof and wondered if that's for you. The answer is yes, thanks to Dawsonville Metal Products. Metal roofing from Dawsonville Metal gives you the maximum choices for making your roof look and function its best. It can be installed over your existing roof and can boost your home's value. Let Justin Odom show you the many benefits of metal roofing. Call Dawsonville Metal Products at 706-265-3099 and visit them online at dawsonvillemetal.com.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/beat. That's ethos.com/beat.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
If you've been waiting to try learning a new language with Babbel, now is the time. For just a few more days, you can unlock all of the languages on Babbel with a lifetime subscription at our largest discount of the year. Where will Babbel take you? Find out at babbel.com. Y una cosa más. This is your last chance because our biggest sale of the year ends on December 7th. For just a few more days, you can get Babbel's lifetime access for less at babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Always here, always local.
From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet Newsroom, Attorney General Chris Carr's gang prosecution unit has convicted 16 members of a gang in Barrow County. Details at Access WDUN and coming up on North Georgia's News Talk.
It's everything prep football with a little college and pro action thrown in. It's the Pick'em Show presented by M&R Equipment Rental and Sales on your home of Friday game night. AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN and on YouTube at Access WDUN Sports.
Yeah, you can join us on YouTube in the live chat. We've got some people in there. Also, you can join the show 770-535-2911 on the M&R Rentals Talk and Text line. Talk, text, however you want to do it. Join the show and have some fun with us here as we get ready for week number 4, the playoffs of the GHSA football season. And as we do that, it's time for the Red Zone.
3 questions, 3 hosts, only one chance to prove who has the brains behind the mic. It's the Red Zone Challenge.
Caleb Hutchins has the questions here on this semifinal version of the Pick'em Show. Caleb, what you got for us?
All right, guys, question number 1. We got 3 area teams left in the state playoffs. Buford, Jefferson, and Gainesville. That's it. How many of those teams do you believe will make it to their respective state championship games? Remember now, for Buford and Jefferson, it's very easy. Just win tomorrow. But for Gainesville, they got to win this week and then next week because of this whole delayed quarterfinal crap. So
you're still on that.
Jeff Hart, take it away.
I got to go first. I'm going to say 2. Do I have to tell which 2?
Not if you don't want to. It's up to you to divulge how much you want to divulge.
I like Buford because I agree with you. I think they are the most complete team. They're playing really well. Defense travels, and that's where they're going to win the game. Although there's some interesting stats about that with Valdosta averaging 50 points a game in the playoffs. So they're gonna have their hands full. But I like them to win that. I like Jefferson at home, and the road for Gainesville is just brutal. I mean, because if you get through Hughes, then you got Thomas County Central perhaps to follow.
Rome. Well, Rome.
Rome. Well, you got Rome, and then whatever be.
But I just said get to the state title game though.
Well, I don't know. It's going to be brutal for Gainesville. I mean,
Walker?
they're good.
Yeah, I'm going to say 2 with the caveat if Gainesville wins against Hughes on Friday, I think they make it to the Benz too. I think Gainesville, just knowing what Jackson County did against Rome, I think Gainesville has a little bit of a better roster than Jackson County has. And so I think with a full complement of players, mind you, the 4 that are suspended for this Hughes game would be back for that game against Rome next Thursday. So I think if Gainesville wins, I would say 3 teams make it to the Benz. But right now I'll go with Buford and Jefferson.
All right, so question number 2 here. Yesterday was early signing day, which has kind of just become almost like the main signing day in college football, but that's a whole other discussion for another day. Which local player who signed on yesterday's early signing day will be the biggest pickup for their college team?
Give me the list.
Well, we got several. We got Gainesville had Xavier Griffin and Jamarian Matthews go to Alabama. You had Buford send a whole list of guys. They sent Tyreek Green and Graham Houston to Georgia. They sent Bryce Perry Wright to Texas A&M. Nasir McCoy went to Ole Miss. Dre Quinn went to Ohio State. You had East Hall sending Jamarcus Harrison to Kennesaw State. So there's a whole bunch in there. So who y'all got?
Oh, man. I'm going to I tell you, Graham Houston's really good up front. Georgia, it looks they can develop some offensive line, and the injuries hit so much. I think Graham Houston, could have a solid career at Georgia. I think Xavier is going to be pretty solid at Alabama, but they have a pretty good room over there in Tuscaloosa. So those would be my 2.
I'm going to go a little bit off of the radar here with this one because I think this one's going to get more playing time than some of the others. How about Chance Payne at Jefferson, picked up by Minnesota as a corner?
Ooh, I forgot about that.
Minnesota gave up nearly 300 passing yards this year and have a very old secondary, so there's going to be a lot of youth in that secondary next year. I think Chance Payne has an opportunity to get playing time early in rowing the boat.
That's a solid pick.
I'm going to say I am interested to see how Jamarcus Harrison does at Kennesaw State.
Same here.
They look like they've got that program turned around after the coaching change. They're playing in the Conference USA title game tomorrow night, by the way.
Crazy.
So how does Jamarcus Harrison fit in over there at Kennesaw? I think that could be an interesting one to watch.
Something tells me that I think Jamarcus, with a year of seasoning, I don't know if next year is his year, but I would think after that, if he is coached up and get more seasoning, I think he could be. We might see him in a big division somewhere down the road.
All right. Well, here's the mystery question. You guys know I always like to go college football usually for this, and that's what I'm going to do again here. Although if we have time, I did think of one bonus question, but we'll have to see if we have time. But today's mystery question is: I mentioned Kennesaw State playing in the Conference USA title game. I think if we polled this room, I'm pretty confident the conference title game most of us would have our eyes on Saturday would be the SEC title game, Georgia and Alabama. But outside of that one, what conference title game are you most looking forward to this weekend?
Well, I'm not looking forward to Georgia-Alabama because I hate that game for obvious reasons. I'm more interested in Ohio State and Indiana because I can't stand Ohio State, and I would love to see them get beat, but I think Indiana is massively overrated. So I want to see which one of those teams puts a smackdown on the other.
I mean, that's the obvious choice, so I'm going to, again, go off the radar here. I'm interested in the ACC championship, and here's why.
Yes.
Virginia gets it. If Virginia wins, they're going to get in. But if Duke wins,
yes,
you might get James Madison. In theory, you could get Troy. You could get North Texas. I mean, it could cause some chaos.
The ACC.
And that's what I want to see.
Yeah, but the game itself is going to be so boring.
The ACC.
Yeah, I don't care about
doomsday.
the game. I just care about the result. It
could be the ACC Doomsday game.
Now I think it was ESPN came up with the Atlantic Chaos Conference. I think that's what they were calling it. So that was pretty good, which is true. I mean, you're right, Walker. I think that's man, the possibilities are endless depending on how that goes. But the game isn't going to be any good. But you're right. What happens afterward could be the most fun.
As a disclaimer, I'm not going to watch a second of the ACC championship because it's on at the same time as the Big Ten championship between Ohio State and Indiana. My eyes will be glued on that.
Oh, yeah.
But the bottom line on Fox, I'm going to be watching that like a hawk for that Virginia Duke score.
If Duke is up at any point in the second half, that is going to become must-watch television.
I guarantee you we're going to get like a screenshot or a 5-second video of that going across that Walker's going to send out to everybody.
But
like,
see,
it's happening. It's happening.
But see, that's what you want. You want drama.
Can you imagine Gus Johnson when Duke wins that game?
Oh, Lord.
He's trying to call the Ohio State-Indiana game. Chaos!
My mystery question, or my bonus question was going to be, what's your favorite color of Doritos? The red, the blue, or the purple?
Red.
Because I think I may be becoming a purple truther.
Ugh.
The chili, the sweet and spicy chili Doritos.
I
That
thought
may
your
be my
bonus
new-
question was
I'm
going to
gonna
be,
be-
what's the worst movie you've ever seen? It's
Oh,
giving
we
it
had that
off.
conversation. Moonfall
Yeah.
is the correct answer, by the way. Either that or
Something called The Room.
my wife won't be happy with my answer, but I love bad movies. She loves Holiday in Handcuffs with Mario Lopez. I don't like that movie, but
What
I
kind of
love it
movies
because
are you
it's-
watching at home?
Holiday
in Handcuffs.
Whatever happens to be on at the time.
Home Sweet Home Alone.
Thank
of
God
course,
for the
has to be
buzzer.
on there as well. Coming up next, we're going to talk about these semifinal matchups and also get a look at Big Red versus Hughes. Dark Horse Dogs around the corner as well here on The Pick'em Show on WDUN.
Are you frustrated with your contacts? Have your glasses become more of a burden? Well, don't suffer. Hi, this is Kim. Here at Advanced Eye Center, we offer all laser LASIK to free your eyes. When you consider not only the amount of money you pay for all of that eye gear, but also the amount of time you spend handling contacts, glasses, cases, solution, and eye drops, how can you not afford to have LASIK? Invest in you. Save your money. Save your time at Advanced Eye Center. Vision correction for all ages.
Running a business takes courage. Protecting it takes experience. For over 45 years, Bagwell Insurance has helped business owners with dependable coverage and service that goes beyond the policy. Competitive pricing is just the start. You deserve a partner who's there when it counts. Give us the honor of partnering with you. Visit us online at bagwellinc.com. Bagwell Insurance Group, redefining protection.
WDUN is looking for the next Clark Griswold. Upload a picture of your outdoor Christmas light display at accesswdun.com. You could win a large turtle box, a stay at Lanier Islands Resort, or a downtown merchant's gift card. So light up North Georgia with Jackson EMC and North Georgia's News Talk. WDUN Gainesville, WDUN FM Clarksville, Gainesville. Always here, always local.
It's 6:30.
Fox News, I'm John Saucier. The FBI arresting a man suspected to have planted pipe bombs outside the RNC and DNC headquarters in January of 2021. The U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia, Janine Pirro.
He is arrested for transporting an explosive device in interstate commerce, as well as the attempted malicious destruction by means of explosive materials.
Nobody was hurt before the bombs were deemed safe. The FBI says they could have been lethal. Weeks after Congress ended the nation's longest government shutdown, still no extension on subsidies for the Affordable Care Act. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says Republicans are not delivering on their promise.
Clearly, they've had no intention to do anything about keeping health care affordable, beginning with extending the Affordable Care Act tax credits. This is December. The tax credits expire at the end of this month.
America is listening to Fox News.
Always here, always local.
From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet Newsroom, I'm Hamilton Keener.
In an ongoing saga, Barrow County has filed a motion to dismiss legal action filed by a citizen claiming they violated the Georgia Open Meetings Act. Alicia Balog filed the petition in October after a July meeting where she claims they added an item to divest from the SRO program without public discussion. The county's motion to dismiss on Tuesday says that the action filed can only compel specific duties, not a general course of conduct. Balog responded the next day, saying that the county mischaracterized and omitted key facts of the case and that the July meeting is voidable. One local school district was recently named one of the 3 statewide to receive an annual Economic Development Partnership designation from the Georgia Department of Education. WDUN's Caleb Hutchins reports.
Forsyth County schools received the designation along with Glenn County and Twiggs County schools, according to a release Thursday from the DOE. Officials said the schools earned the designation by adopting practices and behaviors that support economic development and aligning their education with regional industries. The designations also come with grants from the Georgia Power Foundation.
And some packs of Ritz crackers sold in Georgia are being recalled over an allergy risk. The parent company Nabisco announced yesterday that a voluntary recall has been issued for some cartons because the individual packs may not be properly labeled. There's more news at Access WDUN. And now here's the Access WDUN forecast.
Overcast skies, low 50s, then rain at times into this evening and tonight. It'll be an on and off kind of thing with lows around 40 degrees early Friday. From the Access WDUN Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Holly Strano.
It's 46 degrees in Swanee, 45 degrees in Cornelia, and 45 degrees in Gainesville. From North Georgia's News Talk, AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Would you take advice on how to collect money from the folks that owe it to you? That's exactly what you do when you let an insurance company steer you to their contract shop. At Nichols Body Shop, we earn our customers one at a time. We depend on repeat customers and referrals to keep our shop busy. When you need a repair shop, please consider picking a shop that works for you. Nichols Body Shop in Flowery Branch, where the best sign of a quality repair is no sign at all. Find us on Facebook or call 770-967-8200.
Calling all eggheads, we have what you need.
We sure do, David. Big Green Egg and all the egg accessories.
16 feet of Big Green Egg accessories. We're proud to be a gold level dealer, so we're able to bring our eggheads plenty of selection and the newest products, including the new pizza wedge.
Those are amazing, and you can turn your Big Green Egg into pizza-making masterpiece.
Come by and see our huge array of Big Green Egg gear. Autry's Ace Hardware, Thompson Bridge Road in Gainesville.
Hey there, it's Cody Lovin, owner of Crawlspace Medic. Is your crawl space giving you trouble? Maybe it's moisture, structural issues, or even foul odors? Don't worry, my team and I, we've seen it all. At Crawlspace Medic, we specialize in crawl space repairs, encapsulations, and basement waterproofing, ensuring your home's foundation stays solid and protected. We're all about delivering top-notch service you can trust with solutions that last. Give me a call at 706-410-2400 or visit crawlspacemedic.com for a free evaluation.
It's a look at what to expect from this week's Friday game night. It's the Pick'em Show, presented by M&R Equipment Rental and Sales with Bo, Caleb, Jeff, and Walker on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN and on YouTube at Access WDUN Sports.
Back here on the High School Football Pick'em Show here on WDUN. Walker McCrary, Jeff Hart, Caleb Hutchins, as we get you set for the high school football semifinals here on WDUN. 3 games on our airwaves tomorrow, and we're going to talk about each one of them throughout this show. We'll start with the Buford Wolves. They defeat Douglas County last week to get to the semifinals, Jeff, and now they head down to Titletown and Valdosta. And you mentioned it earlier, Valdosta, an offense that this season has performed extremely well, and in this postseason has really picked it up.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, they're scoring 50 points a game in the playoffs in 6A. Now, that's stout. I don't care who your competition is. Here's an interesting kind of stat on that, though, Walker. You know, they were only giving up like about, I don't know, maybe 15 points a game. But they're giving up like 30 points a game in the playoffs in the first 2 rounds. So while they're scoring a ton, they're also giving up a ton right now, which has not been, that's not how they had been trending during the regular season. So I that's a very interesting game because, as we've talked, Buford's they're totally complete. They can run, they can pass, they can play defense. I think the only intangible that the Wildcats have is it's down in Valdosta. Otherwise, I think Buford really is probably a solidly better team. But, I don't know. It's just hard to not look at 50 points a game, Walker, and just go, wow.
Yeah, to that point on the defensive side, Caleb, Valdosta's road to the semifinals. They defeated Decula in the opening round. That, of course, in Buford's region. The 4 seed out of Buford's region defeated Decula 56-28, then beat Brookwood 49-26. But then kind of the interesting one, Walton, the 4 seed out of Region 5. We know Region 5 a tough region, and Walton coming out of it as a 4 seed kind of shocking, but only beating Walton by 3 points at home last week. And so if you look at that, it's really interesting given that Buford, a team that we know is super complete. Walton, a complete team as well. Valdosta kind of struggled a little bit now. It was Thanksgiving, but definitely struggled last week in the quarterfinals.
Well, ask previously undefeated and like 4th-ranked McEachern. They would have loved to have beaten Walton by 3 because Walton ended their season in the first round. So right. I don't know that I would disparage that Walton team at all. I think that was a pretty tough ball game there. But, to me, which, by the way, yes, you're right about Valdosta scoring all those points. I did want to point out they still aren't scoring anywhere close to as much as Creekside is. Another conversation for another day, but it's mean, the things that Creekside's doing to people.
They're averaging like close to 60 points a game, I think, or something like that.
They put 80 on somebody in the first round, I think. So, yeah, it's a little ridiculous there. But anyway, getting back to this game. To me, the question is, almost the same question that I had about the Jefferson team going into last week, or really all season with the Jefferson team, which is when somebody is able to crack that Buford defense and they put, 24, 28, 30, 35 points on Buford, if they're able to do that, and this Valdosta team is high-powered, maybe they're the ones that do it, maybe they're not. We'll find out tomorrow. If they do, is the Buford offense going to be there to step up and to meet that blow for blow? We got a little bit of that answer with Jefferson last week when they got down 21-0 early. The offense was able to put 49 points on the board. Is the Buford offense going to be prepared to do that if the Wolves have to do that this week?
Well, talking to Coach Appling, they're gonna look at any adjustments that need to be made in game, and what if they have to run the ball, they'll run the ball. If they got to pass the ball, they'll pass the ball. They feel very confident that they can do both. My gut tells me that if Buford's offense gets in a shootout, I don't think that plays to their favor, because they're not explosive in the way that we see explosive teams where they can pop an 80-yard play. They grind out drives on you, when they turn you over and get short fields. I'm not sure a shootout's in Buford's best interest.
Well, let's go to the phone lines right now, and let's talk to Carlos in Gainesville. Carlos, you're on the High School Football Pick'em Show. What do you got tonight?
Hey, how are y'all doing?
Doing good.
Pretty good.
I have a question for the three of y'all. I know, Jeff, you're going to the Gainesville Langston Hughes. What's your thoughts or takeaway, or what do you expect to see at this Gainesville team?
Well, look, the offense is explosive. They're going to have Nigel Newkirk. I think that was the key. He's not on the suspended list. They're going to have their full complement on offense. They have not been able to be 42-0 at Brunswick is eye-popping, because that was a team that was scoring 50 points a game and not giving up a lot. Hughes is another issue. We've seen this game before in 2022. Different cast of characters, very similar teams. It was somewhat of a struggle, but they did score. I like Gainesville to score points. The question is, even though Gainesville's defense is very solid, can they stop Hughes? No one has so far this season.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, that. But I think, and we'll talk about this a little bit later on too, Caleb, but the distractions for Gainesville, I think Coach Niblett has done a good job of keeping the Red Elephants even keel. The question is, how did the delay affect Hughes in this game? For me, I think that's a really big thing that, everybody knows Gainesville's had to deal with all of this, but nothing's really being talked about what Hughes has done, or at least we're not getting word out of Hughes because not on social media, not returning interview requests, all of that stuff. So how does Hughes handle the delay? I think that's a pretty big storyline to follow tomorrow as well.
Yeah, I just think, the question is, what could there be an edge on Gainesville when they come into Langston Hughes tomorrow? Does that Gainesville team play angry because of everything that has happened over the last couple of weeks? And if they do, then the question becomes, does that play to their benefit? Because there are some football teams I've seen in the past that when they play angry, that was the best version of them. And then there are some teams that play angry and it's almost like they get a little too emotional and they become mistake prone. And so is Gainesville playing angry tomorrow? And if they are, is that working to their benefit or to their detriment? Well, that is a question that I have.
Well, with Gainesville, I have seen it on both sides. I've seen them play angry and emotional, and it's been a boon for them. They have gone out and slapped some people. I've seen them play angry and emotional, and we've seen, those are the games where they have 15 penalties. If they have 15 penalties against Hughes, they will not win.
I wanted to make one more point on the Buford game in this one, which is getting back to that. And Carlos in Gainesville, we appreciate your call tonight. But I wanted to get back to this game because to me, I'm interested. This feels like kind of a potentially an interesting spot for Dayton Raiola. Because I think of Dayton Raiola, and he's done such a great job at Buford, maturing over the last 2 years after taking over for his older brother at the starting quarterback job. And we saw a guy who made some mistakes last year, and probably the biggest one was the one in this round, in this state semifinal. Remember the Carrollton game last year? I was there. Jeff, I think, were you at the Buford Carrollton game last year, or were you in Jefferson that night?
I think I was in Jefferson that night.
Buford has got the lead at halftime. They come out in the second half. Walker, I know you were watching that game. Mm-hmm. They go on a death march. Classic Buford Wolf death march to start the third quarter. They take like 8 minutes off the clock. They're about to punch in a touchdown and go up 2 scores late in the third quarter, and it feels like Buford is about to just step on Carrollton's throat, and Dayton Raiola unfortunately fumbles the ball. Carrollton picks it up. Carrollton quickly goes down and scores, retakes the lead. Poof, air goes out of the building at Tom Ryden Stadium.
Right.
Buford never gets the momentum back.
No.
It feels, Walker, to me like a redemption spot potentially for Dayton Raiola.
Absolutely. I think that he's a big key in this game because he's going to have to control the tempo of the offense. We know Valdosta is high-powered. They want to go quick. So if Buford can convert third downs and be able to keep the offense on the field, that keeps that high-powered Valdosta offense off the field. But I think another big key in this game, and the reason why I think Buford, to me, is the most complete team in the entire state, all classifications, is because they've done it on special teams every single week during this postseason. They score on punt returns. They score on kickoff returns. They block punts. They kicked 3 field goals last week, and 3 long field goals, by the way. One of them was a 52-yarder, another a 47-yarder. So the special teams game, Jeff, I think is probably the biggest key in this game for Buford because I think they have a major advantage in that category.
It certainly looks that way. And one of the reasons I was really intrigued about going down to Valdosta, having never been there, is because I've heard, you hear the stories about how big of a home environment it is when you're down there, particularly in these big moments. And this is a big moment. I wanted to see that because that seems to me is going. They haven't played in any environment like this.
That was going to be my next question. Is I know Buford had to play on the road several times this year, but of all of Buford's big games this year,
they were all at home.
I don't think any of them were on the road.
Right.
And somebody help me out here because I'm trying to remember the last time Buford did play a big game on the road. You may have to go back to Douglas County. You may have to go back to Douglas County last year in the regular season.
Okay, in the regular season, yes.
I'm saying period, like regular season or playoffs, anything. It's been a while.
Possible.
Like Dayton Raiola may not have ever started in a game like this on the road.
And so to your point, Walker, how, and yours also, Caleb, I think that environment, you're talking 10, 12, 15,000 people. I know they've had that at home, but they haven't faced that on the road where everyone is against you, and everyone will be against Buford down there.
I think they'll bring a crowd.
And what else is Valdosta people doing on Friday night except being in that stadium tomorrow night?
Nothing.
For an 8 o'clock kick. That game will be on AM 550 tomorrow night. Again, 8 p.m. kick for Buford.
It's either that or head up to Hey Hira for the weekend.
That's true. That's exactly true. Coming up next, Dark Horse Dogs. We'll see if anybody can catch Caleb in the standings before the season runs out. That's all coming up next on the High School Football Pickup Show here on WDUN.
What you see is what you get. I call it like I see it. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, ladies and gentlemen. We have always believed that on this radio program.
It's Todd Starnes, weekdays at noon on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Waste Eliminator is a full-service waste management company providing critical disposal, recycling, and environmental solutions for business and residential clients. From large-scale commercial projects to smaller residential cleanups, Waste Eliminator offers reliable dumpster rental service tailored to your needs. Whether you're tackling a renovation, new construction, or even a simple home cleanout, Waste Eliminator will manage the waste efficiently and sustainably. Visit online at wasteeliminator.com.
This is Grant Nichols, and at Loretta's Country Kitchen, we know life can really pile up. There's work, getting the kids to practice, shopping. With all that, the week can really wear you out. The last thing you want to do is spend Saturday in the kitchen. Not to worry, we have you covered with Saturday lunch at Loretta's. That's right, not only are we open for breakfast on Saturdays, we're also serving up lunch from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. Give your kitchen and your family a break with Saturday lunch at Loretta's Country Kitchen, Mundy Mow Road, Oakwood, where it's all good.
On-time service and experience matter for your home's heating and air system. For more than 40 years, Conditioned Air Systems has been North Georgia's solution for residential HVAC installation, maintenance, and repair. Family owned and operated, we deliver the highest quality service on any brand and model with no hidden fees, promising 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Comfort you can feel, quality you can trust. Visit conditionedairsystems.com to schedule an appointment.
This week in high school sports brought to you by Body Armor Sports Drink. I'm Matt Stewart. Time now to salute the GHSA Fall Sports Champions in volleyball. Walton, Woodward Academy, Marist, Whitewater, Morgan County, Oglethorpe County, and Lovett. Morgan County was the only defending champion. Fast pitch softball, Buford, Creekview, Eastside, Heritage Catoosa, Sonoraville, Bremen, Lanier County, and Wesleyan. The Wolves won their fourth straight championship. Cross country, boys, West Forsyth, Creekview, Westminster, Oconee County, Columbus, Bleckley County, Atlanta Classical, and Hebron Christian. Girls, Marietta, Pope, Westminster, North Hall, Savannah Arts, Bleckley County, Atlanta Classical, and Wesleyan. For the Marietta girls, it was championship number 6 in a row. Ready to rewrite your sports drink routine? Choose Body Armor Sports Drink with electrolytes, coconut water, and no artificial dyes, flavors, or sweeteners. Load up on Body Armor Sports Drink today and all season long, available at your local Kroger.
Always here, always local.
From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet Newsroom, the newest addition to the Hall County Animal Shelter will be a part of Sunday's Christmas on Green Street Parade. Details at Access WDUN and coming up on North Georgia's News Talk.
When it comes to football, they're the smartest guys in the room. As long as they're the only guys in the room. It's the Pick'em Show, presented by M&R Equipment Rental and Sales on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN. And on YouTube at Access WDUN Sports.
50 minutes into the show and we have not said a word about Lane Kiffin. That's coming up in a little bit.
Oh, you had to
Also,
say his name, didn't you? You had to say his
We've
name.
got Jeff Hart's side of the show coming up here in just a few minutes, but
You'll
right
love it.
now
You're gonna love
it's
it, by
time
the
for
way.
everybody's favorite segments, the Dark Horse Dogs.
The underdogs are barking. Can they cover? Will they push or will they pull off the upset? One bold pick could flip the standings. Let's find out who has the guts to ride with the Dark Horse Dogs.
I'm sorry, Bo Wilson not here with us today, but can he be here with us in spirit, Brian Perkle, please?
Horse Dog.
Thank you, Brian. All right, Walker, back to you.
Anytime Bo's not here, we have to get him in spirit, and that's the easiest way to do it. So good luck, Sophie, and thanks for not being here this week, Bo. By the way, Bo and Jeff both covered their games last week. Caleb, both you and I lost our games last week. So our order this week, Caleb, then Jeff, then myself, and then Bo has his games that he wants in order. So, Caleb, you've got the first pick of the Dark Horse Dogs this week. Every game that's being played this week is on the list, except Marist and Benedictine. That's a pick-em, according to the Maxwell ratings.
All right, so I cannot believe that Valdosta is a 14-point dog at home. I actually still haven't made up my mind on who I'm picking tonight to win that game, because we're going to do that later. But for these purposes, Valdosta plus 14, I feel good about that. Give me Valdosta plus 14.
Look, it's 50 points a game. Buford's defense is good, but
it's hard to get beat by 14 if you put 50 out there.
It's hard to argue against.
Although
that.
Teams have done it,
right?
It's been done.
There's two that are looking at me. LaGrange, you have convinced me on LaGrange, Caleb.
I think LaGrange has convinced you on LaGrange.
Yeah, I think LaGrange. And the other one I'm looking at, I'm going to tell you, this is a team I think that is getting absolutely no press, no love whatsoever. A former state champ that I think they love not being talked about. That's the one I'm taking. North Gwinnett plus 19 at Carrollton. I think not only can they cover, I think they can win that game.
Is there a letdown for Carrollton
That's
after that
the
Grayson
other thing.
performance?
You've knocked off Grayson, the Goliath in the whole thing. You're like, hey, we got this thing. It's all said and done. North Gwinnett is good. I like it. I'm taking that one.
By the way, in the YouTube chat at PDK25, Caleb says that you're going to lose. Buford's winning big in that game down in Titletown. This is the game that I find really, really interesting. Gainesville, an 11-point dog at Hughes. A lot of distractions, a couple of suspensions, but I think that Big Red's offense keeps it close in this game, maybe even wins the game. So I'm going to take Gainesville plus 11, and that leaves Bo's first choice as his pick. He's taking the Spartans of the Greater Atlanta Christian School plus 24 at Hebron Christian.
They had a big upset last week.
The Lions are rolling right now in the playoffs, but GAC, like you mentioned, got that big upset. I think Bo's got something there. GAC plus 24. By the way, the standings in the Dark Horse Dogs, Caleb's still sitting on 56 points. Bo moved up to 48 points, so that's the closest in the Dark Horse Dog standings there.
Do you know how close I was to getting my Dark Horse Dog on Walton at Valdosta? And that would be in first place in the dogs if I had gotten that one.
Close only counts in horseshoes.
Yeah, that's a real
That's
shame.
the only place that really counts.
Yeah,
So-
thanks for your
But,
concern
Jeff,
there, Caleb. Thank you.
That's a real shame.
Jeff, it's your favorite time of the show. It's time for your stat of the show.
Some things you need to know. It's Jeff Hart's interesting stat of the show.
Well,
stats.
I had a really
of the
cool.
show.
I had a really cool stat, and then last week happened, and so the stat of the show this week is 5. That's the number. That's the sad number of tiny games I won last week. I was 5-7. 5-7. 5-7.
Oh, gosh. That might be a Hall of Fame stat of the show.
Yeah, I told you it was good.
First ballot Hall of Fame stat of the show.
I told you it was good. And
has nothing to do with any of the games that
No.
we're playing this week. Has
That is
everything to
great.
do with your terrible picking. From
And
last week. Great job, Jeff.
Yeah, let's examine this entire season. That 5-7 last week is I'm still picking at like 70-something%, but I'm in last place there. Okay, I've had 2 sub 500 weeks in picking, and I'm last place in the Dark Horse Dog. I mean, I hope I am building to something next year. That's all I can say. Otherwise, now and Walker, you've lived this, and so have you, Caleb. I had to fire, as the owner of my fantasy football team, I had a bad start. I had to fire the coach and the GM and manage the whole thing myself. And
you didn't manage it by yourself for a long time.
But I haven't talked to you in a month. I haven't talked to you in a month.
But the first 5 weeks.
You ready? So that 5, I can also tie the number 5 into this. Final week of the regular season, I'm playing Bo. If I beat Bo, I'll be in second place in the fantasy league and have won 5 straight. So 5 is a big number for me.
Walker,
There are
as I'm
3
sure.
sub 500 weeks, by the way, guys. Jeff has 2 of those in this year's pick.
It's been a terrible picking year for me.
Walker, as Jeff's advisor, apparently, you probably have some insight into this, but I will tell you as the league manager that there was one point in this season where if you would have opened up the league transaction list, it would have just been Jeff Hart dropped this player, Jeff Hart added this player, Jeff Hart dropped this player, Jeff Hart added this player. Over and over and over and over and over.
I was his ghost GM for like the first 6 weeks of the season. So, I
asked
said,
you
if
like
Jeff wins,
one question a week. One question a week. That doesn't make you a
Your
GM.
ghost GM. You asked me who you should have at quarterback every single week.
He was your advisor.
I
He
have
was your
never
analyst
now,
in the booth.
Look, admittedly,
So
I
I
never
expect
played.
10% of the winnings.
I had never played fantasy football, and I didn't understand some of the subtleties involved in fantasy football, and I understand them now.
I expect 10% of the winnings. We've got just about a minute here, guys. Quick thoughts on Lane Kiffin, Jeff?
I'm not a big fan of Lane Kiffin. He'll never go to Alabama because of what he did. He did it again here with Ole Miss. But I'm going to tell you, I think the real culprit in this is just college football in general, the way they have this set up. There's really, if you're looking at LSU or any of the other teams, everybody's jumping all over Lane for leaving. But how about all the other coaches that left for the exact same reason, which is the portal, NIL, signing day in the middle of the playoff season, essentially in December. And that is the real villain in the whole thing, is just the system itself. Everybody can be all mad at Lane, and with good reason. But, LSU is the one that did this. Florida was courting him. It had nothing to do with Lane Kiffin.
I think that Lane Kiffin chose to go to the better program where he's got a higher chance of winning championships.
I would agree with that.
In the modern era, I don't think there's a good way to do it that's not messy.
No way at all.
Other big news in college football: Georgia Tech offensive coordinator Buster Faulkner headed to Florida to be
yeah,
the
that's
same
big
position for the Gators. That's
big
big
get for John
the Yellow
Sumrall.
Jackets
Yeah,
and the Gators. 1 hour down, 1 hour to go. It's halftime here on the Pick'em Show. Coming up on the other side, we'll talk Big Red football. This is the Pick'em Show on WDUN.
While technology has certainly changed the way people do business, it hasn't changed the way we treat our customers. It's Mike Cormier, and at Hardy Chevrolet, we are as committed to excellent customer service as the Hardys were when they started the business here in Gainesville over 4 decades ago. When it's time for a new or used vehicle, remember what Charles Hardy always said.
We love you and we need you.
Together, let's drive. At Hardy Chevrolet, Brownsbridge Road in Gainesville, online at hardychevrolet.com.
Need a dumpster fast? Need a mobile storage unit or office for your job site? American has you covered. From small home cleanouts to large commercial jobs to industrial waste management, American offers roll-off dumpsters in all sizes. They also offer recycling dumpsters that can actually pay you money. American is committed to providing unmatched customer service at a competitive price with same-day service for most deliveries and pickups. American, let us show you service. Call 678-696-5131 or visit ameri-canga.net.
WDUN Gainesville, WDUN FM Clarksville, Gainesville. Always here, always local.
It's 7 o'clock.
This is a Fox News alert, a win for Texas at the Supreme Court. I'm Lisa Lacera. The High Court will allow next year's elections to be held under the state's new congressional map, which is favorable to Republicans, despite a lower court ruling that the map likely discriminates on the basis of race. The justices acted on an emergency request from Texas for quick action. And the Justice Department says years of work looking over evidence led to the arrest of a suspect in a plot to bomb Democratic and Republican National Committee headquarters the day before the 2021 Capitol riot.
Today begins the formal process of accountability.
D.C. U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro said that's what awaits Brian Cole, who allegedly placed pipe bombs at the headquarters of both political parties in 2021. While being careful not to compromise the ongoing investigation, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi said examining an abundance of evidence led to Cole, who even after nearly 5 years was close by.
This defendant was living just miles away from here in Virginia.
Cole's charges include transporting an explosive device in interstate commerce and attempted malicious destruction using explosive materials.
Fox's Gernal Scott, more charges could be coming. The U.S. military says it's conducted another lethal strike on a boat in international waters on what it says was operated by a designated terrorist organization. 4 men aboard were killed. It was the 22nd such strike. A federal grand jury has declined to indict New York Attorney General Letitia James over allegations of bank fraud after a federal judge tossed out the initial indictment last week, though a source at the Justice Department tells Fox they will have more chances and intend to continue the effort to re-indict James. At the White House,
3, 2, 1.
President Trump and the First Lady officially kicking off the Christmas season, lighting up the national tree. America's listening to Fox News.
Always here, always local.
WDUN. From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet Newsroom, I'm Hamilton Keener. A suspect has been arrested after an alleged robbery attempt at a bank in Gainesville this afternoon. Gainesville Police Department officials confirmed the incident happened at the Wells Fargo Bank at the intersection of Pearl Nicks Parkway and Jesse Jewell Parkway. No other details, including the suspect's name, have been released at this time. A Mexican man arrested in Gainesville last month after hundreds of pounds of meth were found in a BlackBerry truck has now been indicted on federal drug charges. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Georgia said 44-year-old Gerardo Solorio Alvarado was indicted on Tuesday on charges of conspiracy and possession with intent to distribute meth. Solorio Alvarado was arrested at a home on Browns Bridge Road on November 21st after authorities found more than $22 million worth of meth inside the truck at a gas station on McEver Road. Another man has also been indicted after another truck believed to be connected to Solorio Alvarado's was found with meth in Atlanta that same day. For some Georgians, the month of December is full of holiday parties, but your pets may not be feeling so festive. GNN's Rebecca Hughes has some helpful tips.
From large, loud bashes to quiet dinner parties, your pets may be feeling the stress of having extra commotion in the house. Veterinarian Dr. Susan Nelson says owners will know if their furry friend enjoys the extra attention or not.
If your dog or your cat is not comfortable with strangers and other people in the house, then they should probably be shut up in a back room. Dogs maybe in their crate during the party time. That way they'll be less stressed and not in the midst of everything.
She says if you don't think that will ease their tension, talk to your vet about herbal supplements.
And Christmas on Green Street will be featuring dozens of holiday display and parade floats Sunday afternoon, and will also host the newest addition to the Hall County Animal Shelter. WDUN's Logan Landers has the details.
Hall County Animal Shelter's manager Stephanie Malik says in a release that their new state-of-the-art mobile adoption unit will be fully lit and decorated to roll down Green Street, while adoptable pets will be featured in the unit. The $80,000 mobile unit was purchased in April and funded by multiple grants from Petco Loves Foundation. The 24-foot mobile unit can hold up to 53 animals in the well-insulated stainless steel interior that has a built-in generator for HVAC and heating systems, running water, and a drainage system.
There's more news at Access WDUN. And now here's the Access WDUN forecast.
Well, hey, North Georgia, as we continue through your Thursday, overcast skies, low 50s, then rain at times into this evening and tonight. It'll be an on and off kind of thing with lows around 40 degrees early Friday. From the Access WDUN Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Holly Strano.
It's 45 degrees in Flowery Branch, 46 degrees in Cornelia, and 45 degrees in Gainesville. From North Georgia's News Talk, AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Fall is a busy time of year, but don't let the fun of football and fall festivals keep you from taking care of your health insurance. This is Chelsea Hogan. At the CHI Agency, Clara Chastain and I are ready to help you navigate individual health insurance enrollment. It's underway now through December 15th. Make your appointment with us today to make sure you get the policy right for you. To find out more and set up your appointment, visit thechiagency.com or come see us behind Burger King in Cleveland or in the Rubicon building in Gainesville.
What if my surviving children are in the middle of a divorce? Can I see to it in advance that my assets go to them and only them? This is Kevin Tharp, elder law and estate planning attorney, and the answer is yes. There are steps that you need to take now in order to ensure that your assets go where you want them to go. It's up to you, however, to make the first call. Visit my website at kevintharp.com and learn how to get help planning for your family's future.
You wouldn't want someone you couldn't trust working on your family's HVAC and plumbing, so why would you call anyone but Gainesville Mechanical? They're your local, most trusted and award-winning HVAC and plumbing company in North Georgia. From maintenance appointments and clogged drains to plumbing emergencies and new system installations, their team is ready to serve you. And with their customer assurance maintenance plan, you can receive discounts, priority scheduling, and 24/7 no overtime rates. Gainesville Mechanical and Bryant, doing whatever it takes since 1989.
The marching band has cleared the field, and it's time for the second half of the Pick'em Show, presented by M&R Equipment Rental and Sales. Fresh from getting chewed out by the coach and taking their seats in the Northeast Georgia Health System studio, it's Bo, Caleb, Jeff, and Walker on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN, and on YouTube at Access WDUN Sports. Always here, always local.
No Bo Wilson this week as he's on assignment, but Walker McCreary, Caleb Hutchins, and Jeff Hart are all here with you on the second hour of the High School Football Pick'em Show. By the way, have we ever gotten chewed out during halftime of this show this year? I don't think we have.
I don't know.
Has Brian chewed us out about anything at halftime? Because I feel like Brian's our head coach in
of this show. If you were to rewind about an hour, Jeff and I were having a bit of a conversation about on-air etiquette.
Is that what that was? That was the conversation?
It was something. As a third-party observer, it was something.
That was the pregame motivational speech, I guess?
Yes, it was Brian talking and me just having to sit there and listen.
It was it was definitely motivational. No doubt.
Brian Perkle, of course, our producer tonight here on the Pick'em Show, as he has been all year. Big thanks to him for everything he does behind the scenes for us. As we get ready to start the third quarter of the show, we turn our attention to Big Red, who will be on 1240 or 94.5 The Lake and AM 1240 as well, with their quarterfinal matchup at Langston Hughes, guys. And for those who have been living under a rock for the past 2 weeks, Gainesville defeated Brunswick 42-0 in the second round. Game was called in the third quarter because of a benches clearing scuffle, and then a lot of suspensions and appeals and legal battles gets us to where we are here today. Caleb, I'd be remiss, I think, if we didn't discuss what's happened this week from the GHSA point of view. Of course, they announced the game moved to Friday and that they're dropping, I believe they've said they're dropping their legal appeal and then grant the appeal at the executive committee meeting on Wednesday.
Yeah, very good recap there, Walker, because I was thinking there's got to be somebody who was listening to that game and then, I don't know, they had a vacation scheduled, so the third quarter they hopped on a plane to Cancun or something, and they just got back and they were like, wait, why is the quarterfinals now? What's going on here? Good recap there. Listen, it's the question of the whole game because I think this is a good matchup. Langston Hughes deserves to be favored. They've been the number one ranked team all year. I don't have any disagreement with that necessarily, but this throws a whole wrench into it because how does it affect the two teams? And you already talked earlier, Jeff, about how does it affect Langston Hughes, but again, for Gainesville, we all know it's affected them. The question is, what is the effect?
Right.
Is it for better or is it for worse? I mean, Adam Lindsay was quoted in another publication. I can't remember where it was, but in an interview I read that he said that it's basically the biggest distraction that you could possibly have for a team. And, in the modern age with social media, you cannot insulate your team in this age. They're going to be on their phones. They're going to be reading what people are saying on both sides of the argument. And so I'm sure that Josh Niblett and his staff have been doing yeoman's work, overtime work to try to make sure that team is focused, to try to make sure they practice, continue to stay prepared, had as much normalcy as you possibly could. But obviously it hasn't been normal. The question is, how will they respond?
Right. The distraction, it's obvious what the distractions would be. There's a couple other ways to go with this too. Everybody's been talking about the courts and the appeals and the GHSA. No one's been talking about the players. They've been able to kind of just go practice, go do their thing, not really, not hearing every day, is Nigel Newkirk going to be able to hit 100 yards? Can Huey, find deep throws. How's the front seven going to be against that Hughes offense? Nobody's talking about that. We've all been talking about the Quirk thing. So the players on both sides have probably had kind of somewhat of a quiet kind of preparation. I think part of the other issue for Gainesville is, the 42-0, let's just call it what it was. That was a beatdown of a really good Brunswick team. And Gainesville was rolling. And then 2 weeks. When a team is playing really well, you really don't want a break. And they got one. Whether they wanted it or not, Hughes was playing really good. They got a break. It may end up being a wash from all that, Walker, but it's hard to say. I would feel Gainesville, Walker, is pretty motivated coming into this.
Yeah, I think when you take a look at how Gainesville's playoff run had to start, you remember, 5 weeks ago, I think? 5 or 6 weeks ago was their final regular season game against Roswell. Then they had the bye week. Then they had the other bye week before they finally got to take the field against Dunwoody. And, oh, by the way, they put up 48 points in that game and then turn around and score 42 against Brunswick. So from the layoff standpoint, I think Gainesville's okay with it. But I'm going to disagree just a little bit with what you said about the athletes having a quiet 2 weeks. There were 34 players for Gainesville that didn't know if they were going to get to see the field again. And there were some of those being seniors. So they were wondering if their season and their high school football careers were over. And so from that standpoint, there's a lot of distraction. So I think that getting to play on Friday night, those 34 that do get to play now, I think it's more of a relief thing. And so it's like you're playing with house money a little bit, right? You're getting a second chance to be able to go out there and play. And so I think that's the freeing thing for Gainesville. Now we get into the X's and O's of things. Can Gainesville figure out this Langston Hughes defense offensively? Because teams in the playoffs have. East Paulding put up 28. Lee County put up 31. So you look at the playoff runs right now, you would think, oh, Gainesville's got it figured out offensively, but Hughes has had a couple weeks to get healthy now.
Right. Well, you mentioned that. Hughes is kind of the same thing with Valdosta. They're giving up points in the playoffs. They were only giving up 9 points a game in the regular season. They're kind of like Valdosta. They're giving up 30 points a game on defense in the first 2 rounds. And we know Gainesville can score. I mean, they scored 90 points in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. They're going to get points. I feel like they're going to get points. This kind of a little bit like going to Carrollton, not this year but last year. They scored. They just didn't score enough, and they had a lot of issues on defense. I think they figured out if there was any issue on defense like with Roswell, I think they figured it out, Caleb. Well, I'm not too worried about that.
That was going to be my question and really I'm surprised that it is my question with this Gainesville team, because coming into the year and just knowing the roster and what they had, really expected the defense to be the strength of this football team, and it really kind of hasn't been. It's really been the offense that has been the strength, especially in these big games against Carrollton and against Milton and against Roswell, which the Gainesville defense did play very well against Milton. But to me, my question is, Langston Hughes can score so dynamically.
Right.
That my question is, can the 2 guys that just signed with Alabama, Xavier Griffin, Jamarian Matthews, can these guys get home and create some havoc on the quarterback for Hughes? Can they create some sacks? Can they create some pressures? Can they maybe create some turnovers? Because if they have some troubles in the back end defensively, the antidote to that is just forcing the quarterback into some bad decisions. And then maybe you get some turnovers, and we know this is a Gainesville team, maybe more so than any other team left in the playoffs, that really is a momentum football team. Yes. They play in dominant spurts where they can just explode on you, like they did in the second quarter against Dunwoody when they were down 3-0 going into the second, and then boom, 42-point second quarter. And then, Brunswick, kind of low scoring early in the game, and then starting late second quarter, boom, an explosion. Can Gainesville get some of that going? I think turnovers is the way to do that, and I think it starts with Xavier Griffin and Jamarian Matthews putting pressure on the quarterback.
Well, if this turns into a turnover battle, this may be an area where Hughes has an advantage. They've forced 24 turnovers, including 15 interceptions. If Hewley is not on target, if he makes a couple of bad throws, Hughes is going to pick them off, and that's going to give them some opportunities, Walker. You really, despite the number of points that Hughes is giving up, they're still getting turnovers.
Can I just say, watching a little bit of Langston Hughes on film, because I'm getting ready to call that game on the lake tomorrow, one thing I noticed, Langston Hughes, I don't know if it's because they don't have a big leg kicker. They do a lot of pooch kicks. They do a lot of low-line drive kicks. They spray the ball around on the kickoff team a little bit. Might be something to watch for. Does Gainesville handle that well, and can you avoid – because there might not be a more disastrous turnover than a kick return turnover.
Right.
Got to avoid those.
And to the point that Jeff made earlier, Gainesville's going to have to play disciplined and play with emotion, but also controlled emotion. We know how these big games are and what they've been like for Gainesville in terms of the penalty flag coming out. I'm sure there's going to be flags flying early in that game. We've got one more team to talk about that's in our area playing tomorrow. We'll talk some Dragon football from Jefferson on the other side here on WDUN.
Get your day going with the show that wakes you up faster than your coffee. Mornings on Main Street on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
If you need on-time expert plumbing service, Conditioned Air Systems is here for you. Our plumbers deliver the highest quality service in North Georgia 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. We've been North Georgia's source for elite residential and commercial services since 1983. Our licensed plumbers offer services for installation and repairs of pipes, water heaters, septic lines, and sump pumps. Choose Conditioned Air Systems for quality service and unmatched knowledge for your plumbing needs.
This is Mike Cormier, General Manager at Hardy Chevrolet. Some folks think that the automobile business is just about selling cars. At Hardy, we know it's more than just that. For us, it's about helping that young driver with their first car and helping that growing family that needs a bigger car. It's about relationships. It's about family. Drop by for a visit and you'll understand what Charles Hardy always said.
We love you and we need you.
Together, let's drive. At Hardy Chevrolet, Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville, online at hardychevrolet.com.
At M&R Rental and Equipment, we're not just about renting out top-notch tools and machinery. We're also your trusted partner for all your equipment maintenance needs. From small power tools to large heavy-duty machinery, our team of certified professionals are trained to keep them in peak condition. And with our affordable maintenance packages, you can focus on what you do best, creating, building, and achieving. Visit mnrrental.com for more information. M&R Rental and Equipment, building your projects, supporting your success.
Check your pockets and you'll find a quarter ready to inspire you to visit the state you find on the back. It's America the Great on a podcast called Quarter Miles Travel, from Virginia's historic sites to the wide open plains of Montana, the low country rhythms of coastal Georgia to the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina. Explore America based on the U.S. Mint State Quarters. Hi, it's Anita with Travel with Anita and Friends. Quarter Miles Travel is all about pride in our states and our country. The natural beauty, the history, landmarks, and interesting people all make our country an exceptional place to visit. Go to my website, travelwithanita.com, where you will hear the podcast with stories told by historians and people who know the little-known facts. So come along, let's go on an adventure. Reach in your pocket and pull out that quarter. Flip it over, and Quarter Miles Travel will take it from there. We'll help you turn that quarter into an adventure.
Always here, always local.
From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet Newsroom, a family physician with more than 20 years of experience in Northeast Georgia is bringing her skills to NGPG. Details at Access WDUN and coming up on North Georgia's News Talk.
It's your weekly dose of good information and bad guesses. It's the Pick'em Show, presented by M&R Equipment Rental and Sales on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN, and on YouTube at Access WDUN Sports.
YouTube chat is going crazy right now. A lot of Gainesville Hughes talk in there, so be sure to join us in the YouTube chat. Also, if you want to talk or text the show, 770-535-2911, the M&R Rentals talk and text line. Get your thoughts in on our 3 games that we'll have on our airwaves tomorrow. We've talked about Buford taking on Valdosta. That'll be on AM 550, an 8 o'clock kick. for that one. We've talked about Gainesville at Hughes in the quarterfinals for Class 5A on 94.5 The Lake and on AM 1240 as well. The only game we haven't had a chance to really talk about, guys, is the game that'll be on FM 102.9 WDUN tomorrow night. West Lawrence traveling to top-ranked Jefferson in Class 3A. And, Caleb, you mentioned it off the top of the show, probably the most surprising game that happened in our area last week in terms of how it played out, not the result, but how it played out for Jefferson. Down 21-0 early, they go on to win 47-28, so scoring 47 of the last 54.
Yeah, and now Jefferson brings in a West Lawrence team that, again, is really, really good. And you wonder, we've been talking a lot about how do teams respond with all the Gainesville, Langston, Hughes stuff, but from a football standpoint, Jefferson played with so much momentum down the stretch of that game against Cairo. Is this going to be a snowball moment for the Dragons where they have caught themselves playing their best ball and they're able to hold on to it for a couple more weeks, at least through this game maybe, and maybe play a complete game against West Lawrence? I think it's probably going to take that because I think West Lawrence is better than Cairo, and I think this is going to be their toughest game of the playoffs so far.
Absolutely. Look, they're undefeated. They're 13-0 for the first time in program history. That's 53 years of playing football. Here's another 5 number for you, Walker. They're 0-5, however, all time in the quarterfinals. So, and, they were 0-5 until last week.
Okay, that's right to say. We're talking semifinal football now.
Right.
I know at least one quarterfinal game they won.
Now they won one. So how will that, they've never been here. Jefferson's, this is the 3rd straight year that they've been here. The X factor is obviously Ty Cummings, the state's leading rusher, 2,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, 10 of 13 games of 100 yards or more. I asked Travis Nolan, stopping him, you win this game. I mean, that seems to be the obvious thing. And he wasn't so sure that just slowing him down was enough because they do have some other weapons in the passing game, Walker.
Yeah, the path for West Lawrence to get here as the number 4 seed, they defeated Beach 45-6 before taking down Oconee County 32-7, and then last week a defensive battle against Jenkins, the number 5 seed in the 3A bracket, 21-16. But somebody in the YouTube chat just said it, and I think that this is a great point. West Lawrence probably hasn't seen a defense like Jefferson's.
Probably not.
In terms of what they can do on the front 7 and getting pressure in the backfield. So from that standpoint, you have to feel good, Caleb, about the front 7 slowing down at least the leading rusher in the state of Georgia in Ty Cummings, because that's what Jefferson prides themselves on, is slowing down running games and forcing you to throw the football.
Well, I always go back to an old saying that my former coach, Lee Shaw, used to say whenever we would play a team that had a really explosive player. Jefferson faced this last week with Cairo. They're going to face it again this week with West Lawrence. But Lee Shaw always used to have a saying that speed in the box can't hurt you. Keep speed in the box and it can't hurt you. Now you let it out of the box and it will very much hurt you.
Right.
You got to keep it in the box. Well, can Jefferson keep things contained? The problem, Cairo introduced to them was, that dynamic player, they were putting him out at receiver, and that created one-on-one situations that made it hard to contain him. And so is West Lawrence going to throw that at Jefferson too? Or what is the look? I don't know a lot, not knowing a lot about West Lawrence's offense. Jefferson can be extraordinarily disciplined, and if they do that, it could be feast or famine. I mean,
I don't think they use Cummings that much in the passing game. So that's going to probably play into Jefferson's hands. But I want to throw this out because they haven't had Max Brown since, the 3rd game of the season. And the defense is playing as good as they've ever been, maybe better than they were last year at this time. How good would this group be with Max Brown? I mean, I'm going to tell you, they have learned how to play without their superstar, which means when he comes back next year, it could be the best defense in the state.
The running back C.J. Hayes, too, stepping in as a freshman. Yeah. I think we talked about him, Caleb, on Scoreboard a little bit. The way that he's been able to step in offensively and fill the shoes of Max Brown, I think, has been extremely admirable and just adds another piece to, like Jeff said, what happens next year when you have Brown and Hayes able to get in the backfield and run downhill for Jefferson.
We wondered, when you had Malachi Starks and you had Sammy Brown, we had always wondered, what if you put them both in the backfield at the same time? They never did that. I always wanted to see that. Nobody would have been able to stop that offense at all. I would have liked to have seen them do that in that Marist game.
Well, these are two different types of two teams that run the football a lot, but I think two different types of football teams. I think West Lawrence a little bit more of a lightning bolt, whereas Jefferson likes to be a little bit more of a bulldozer.
Right.
This is Jefferson wants to lean on you.
Right.
Jefferson wants to grind you out, and then they start popping the 15, 20-yard runs later in the ball game. But, I think West Lawrence may be more of a big play type of football team. So what kind of game does it become is the question.
I don't know. Here's another stat for you, Walker. And you guys, there was a lot of stats that I didn't throw out there because I was so disgusted with myself.
Do we need to play the sounder again here?
Let's play the sounder
play
again
the
real
sounder
quickly,
again.
Brian.
Here's some things you need to know. It's Jeff Hart's
Other.
interesting stat of the show.
That was well. Look, I always love that Bill Maine has his own song in the morning. I have my own song for this show, so I feel honored about that. But Jefferson's 8-1 versus ranked teams at Memorial Stadium under Travis Nolan. The only loss was this year against North Oconee. So they're undefeated in the playoffs against other ranked teams. So I feel very, very good. Jefferson, we talk about other offenses. They're averaging 50 points a game in the playoffs.
I'm just going to throw this out here, too, as we get ready to wrap up this conversation, and then we've got picks to make coming up on the other side. But the road trip for West Lawrence, not to be undersold. Anytime you get either a North Georgia school having to go way south or a South Georgia school having to go way north, I always have concerns for the road team. Now, for big schools, you think of Buford locally, I don't worry about it because they've got the infrastructure in place. They can get set up in a hotel, not a big concern. But for the teams that are just going to hop on a bus because they maybe don't have the same kind of resources, and I don't know what West Lawrence's situation on that front is, but if they've got to just make a bus ride tomorrow, that's a long trip to Jefferson. And I don't care what anybody says, it affects teams.
Yeah, I don't think they have the infrastructure. This is the first time they've ever been to this spot, first time they've ever been undefeated. It's a program that's been there. It hasn't been traditionally great. Here they are. I think all the intangibles work in Jefferson's favor, which means be careful. There are no trap games in the playoffs because, it's one and done. But, probably no one is giving West Lawrence a chance to win this game, which is why you should definitely be on your guard if you're the Jefferson Dragons. And, they will need that home crowd, Walker. They need to step up there, Jefferson, and really help push them through.
Jefferson, by the way, only a touchdown favorite in this game tomorrow. That's on FM 102.9 WDUN. Coverage starting at 6:30 with the Tailgate Show. Coming up on the other side, our rapid-fire picks from all across the state of Georgia. That's coming up on WDUN.
They say it's hard to find things that are built to last. That may be true for some things, but not for metal roofing from Dawsonville Metal. Metal roofing can last up to 50 years. Now that's quite an improvement from traditional asphalt shingles. But more than durable, metal roofing from Dawsonville Metal is also fire and impact resistant. Plus you get all the quality and durability for about the same cost as a shingled roof. Talk to Justin Odom at Dawsonville Metal Products at 706-265-3099 or log on to DawsonvilleMetal.com.
The guys on the gridiron wouldn't think of showing up on game day in a dirty uniform, so why show up in a dirty car? Prep for the game at Extreme Clean Auto Spa and play defense against paint damage with their ceramic glaze products. Extreme Clean also has vacuums to keep the inside looking great too. With a monthly membership, you can wash once a day, every day. Be game day ready with veteran-owned Extreme Clean Auto Spa on White Sulphur Road or use their touchless system on Brownsbridge Road. Doesn't your car deserve the best?
Friday game night playoff action continues. On AM 550, Buford hits the road to take on Valdosta. On 102.9 WDUN, Jefferson hosts West Lawrence. And on 94.5 FM, Gainesville travels to Langston Hughes. Coverage starts at 6:30 with the Prep Tailgate Show on your home of Friday game night. WDUN Gainesville, WDUN FM Clarksville, Gainesville. Always here, always local.
It's 7:30.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Tom Regani. The Supreme Court is allowing Texas to use a congressional map favorable to Republicans next year. The High Court's order pauses a 3-judge panel's ruling blocking the state's recently redrawn map. The Supreme Court ruling boosts the GOP's chances of preserving its slim majority in the House. Protests in New Orleans following the arrival of federal agents cracking down on illegal immigration. Fox's Mike Tobin is there.
This comes a day after Border Patrol agents from the highly visible El Centro sector showed up in New Orleans. They started in a Home Depot parking lot looking to pick up illegals searching for day labor, and agents ultimately transitioned to a foot patrol through the French Quarter.
And the Justice Department has failed to indict New York Attorney General Letitia James for a second time on mortgage fraud charges after her initial indictment was tossed by a federal judge. America's listening to Fox News.
Always here, always local.
WDUN. From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet Newsroom, I'm Hamilton Keener. In an ongoing saga, Barrow County has filed a motion to dismiss legal action filed by a citizen claiming they violated the Georgia Open Meetings Act. Alicia Balog filed the petition in October after a July meeting where she claims they added an item to divest from the SRO program without public discussion. The county's motion to dismiss on Tuesday says that the action filed can only compel specific duties, not a general course of conduct. Balog responded the next day, saying that the county mischaracterized and omitted key facts of the case and that the July meeting is voidable. One local school district was recently named one of the 3 statewide to receive an annual Economic Development Partnership designation from the Georgia Department of Education. WDUN's Caleb Hutchins reports.
Forsyth County schools received the designation along with Glenn County and Twiggs County schools, according to a release Thursday from the DOE. Officials said the schools earned the designation by adopting practices and behaviors that support economic development and aligning their education with regional industries. The designations also come with grants from the Georgia Power Foundation.
And some packs of Ritz crackers sold in Georgia are being recalled over an allergy risk. The parent company Nabisco announced yesterday that a voluntary recall has been issued for some cartons because the individual packs may not be properly labeled. There's more news at Access WDUN. And now here's the Access WDUN forecast.
Overcast skies, low 50s, then rain at times into this evening and tonight. It'll be an on and off kind of thing with lows around 40 degrees early Friday. From the Access WDUN Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Holly Strano.
It's 46 degrees in Swanee, 45 degrees in Cornelia, and 45 degrees in Gainesville. From North Georgia's News Talk, AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Farmers know the value of hard work and trust, and so do we. For more than 4 decades, Bagwell Insurance has partnered with farm families to protect what matters most. From equipment and livestock to your home and vehicles, we've got you covered. It's our family's business protecting your family's business. Visit us online at bagwellinc.com. Bagwell Insurance Group, redefining protection.
Whether it's on the football field or planning for retirement, it's important to have the right team around you to succeed. I'm Alex Schliman, quarterback for the North Hall Trojans. While I'm not throwing touchdowns, my family is assisting clients with their financial planning needs. Are you looking to retire soon? Receiving an inheritance? Selling a business? Or simply have questions about the market? The team at Sullivan & Schliman Wealth Management is here to help. Reach out to us to make sure you and your family are surrounded by a winning team. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA and SIPC.
Thanks to your generous support, Georgia Mountain Food Bank with our pantry partners have been able to provide over 700,000 nutritious meals each month to families in our community. This year, we have seen the need for food assistance grow exponentially. You can feed hope by filling plates this holiday season by giving to the Georgia Mountain Food Bank. And thanks to a generous matching gift from Milton Martin Toyota, every dollar you donate will be doubled, providing even more meals to neighbors who are struggling to put food on the table. Give today or learn how you can invest in our community at gmfb.org.
Want to see what 4 guys talking football in a tiny room look like? Head to Access WDUN Sports on YouTube. It's the Pick'em Show, presented by M&R Equipment Rental and Sales on AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Closing in on the final couple of segments here on semifinal version of the Pick'em Show. Walker McCreary, Jeff Hart, Caleb Hutchins, Bo Wilson on assignment, but he's sent his picks in. So we'll see if anybody can pitch a perfect record. We've only had, 3 of those all year?
Can
I
we
had
get
12-0 in week 6. And
can
then
we get
Bo and Daniel in the playoffs?
What are the odds that I'll have a perfect record?
Slim.
I think I read today that Kennesaw State has, like, because of the conference championship scenarios, there's like some very small weird path that could lead to Kennesaw State getting a playoff bid. I think those chances are higher than you getting a perfect week.
Wow. Man, that's
That would
wait,
be
hold
something
it.
if Kennesaw
So you're
State
saying
worked
there's
their
a
way in.
chance. So you're saying there's a chance.
There is a chance. There is a chance. The All-State playoff predictor would not have you at 0. But
I would rather be at 0 than see my
Might-
chances are like 0.13%. That's
Yeah, I was going to say,
demoralizing.
you know how it says Ole Miss has a greater than 99% chance to make the playoffs? I think it's a greater than 99% chance Jeff doesn't pick a perfect 12-0 this week. Let's get to our rapid-fire picks.
12 games, 10 to 15 seconds. No time to think, just pick and defend it. Quick takes, bold calls, and zero hesitation. Yeah, that means you, Jeff. What you got, fellas? It's pick'em time, rapid fire style.
So we got 9 games to pick here in this segment before our 3 local games in the final segment. I know we've got a little competition going on right now in the YouTube chat between PDK25 and King Phillip. So let's see who wins out of that while we see who wins this week for us. Let's start at the top in 6A. North Gwinnett is at Carrollton. The order, by the way, is Bo, and then Jeff, then myself, and then Caleb. Bo is picking Carrollton to knock off North Gwinnett.
By the way, Walker, did we get an update on the playoff standings through the picks so far? Sorry, I know that's always
more humiliation.
Well,
Go ahead.
Well, I
Yeah,
haven't.
you
I haven't called for them in a couple weeks. I thought I would just see where we're at right now.
You probably called for them in the week that I wasn't here, but that's fine. Bo, Caleb, you've got a 2-game lead on Bo, 4-game lead on myself. So,
okay.
By the way, Daniel McCrary, the guest picker champion for this year. We may try and get him on next week for the championship round.
Yeah, why not?
I'll have to make some calls to the people in Lumpkin County to see if we can get him on for the championship round. By the way, North Gwinnett at Carrollton. Bo takes Carrollton, Jeff.
All right.
My turn?
Yep.
Yes. Well, they're my dog. I'm going to ride them. Give me North Gwinnett to win.
Carrollton, they beat Grayson last week. I think they are played down a little bit because it's not as big of an opponent, but I think Carrollton still wins. They're playing at home.
Jeff, I think your dark horse dog will cover, but I do not think they'll win outright. Trojans in a close one by a touchdown.
I don't
over
need.
North Gwinnett.
I don't need your negativity. Okay.
I said they'd cover. That's points.
I need the whole win.
Yeah, you do need the whole win.
I need
You're
the whole win.
29 points behind Caleb.
Do you
to,
think I just
Thank you
blew
for that
my?
reminder, Walker.
Did I just blow my perfect record right there on the first one?
You might have. I think you'll pick it back up with this one. This one may be the easiest pick of the week. Kell at Creekside. Bo is picking Creekside, by the way.
Yeah, give me Creekside. What, they scored like 170 last week or something like that?
Yeah, Creekside by as many as they want to beat Kell by.
Kell might put up some points in this game, by the way, but the problem is Creekside might just score 90 if they want to. So give me Creekside.
Going to skip down the list a little bit. Let's go to A Division 2. Bowden. This may be A Division 1. I'm not sure. Bowden at Clinch County.
It's Division 2.
It is Division 2.
Yes.
That's what I thought. Bo is picking Bowden in this game at Clinch County.
Well, I think they're the defending champs. I think, is that right?
3-time defending champs.
So give me Bowden. Here's something interesting in the top 4 classifications, guys. There will be new champions this year. None from 6, 5, 4, 3. All of the defending champs were eliminated already.
You know what? I'm going to say there will be a new champ in A Division 2. Give me Clinch County at home.
I have lived in the state of Georgia my entire life, and these are 2 places in Georgia I have never been.
You and Cliff is like the people that have never been in Cleveland's kitchen.
Never been to Bowden, never been to Clinch County. Give me Clinch County at home in this one. Down there on the Florida line.
We'll stay in Division 2. Lincoln County is at Early County. Bo's waking up with Early County.
Oh, is he really? You know, yeah, they're good. Give me the old, give me the old school Lincoln County.
I'm going to go with Bo in this one. I know nothing about Lincoln County or Early County, so take the home team when you don't know anything.
I don't know much about Lincoln County other than I've looked at their results, and they have annihilated everybody they've played. I'm not taking the old Lincoln County. I'm taking the current Lincoln County to win big at Early County. Lincoln County as a winner.
Division I, Pepperell, who just beat Rabun County last week, travels to Worth County in A Division I. Bo's taking Worth County to knock off the team that knocked off the Wildcats.
Yeah, give me Worth on that one.
I'll take Worth County, but I think Pepperell keeps it close.
Great season for Pepperell, by the way, out there in Northwest Georgia. Really a Cinderella playoff run. Hope you enjoyed it, because Worth County, big in this one.
Yeah, they're good.
Burke County is at Carver Columbus. Bo's taking Carver to win this one.
Now, that's one of the other defending champs. They're at home. It's in Columbus. And, you just don't go down there and beat those teams. So give me Carver Columbus.
I'm going to take Carver as well, but I think Burke County going to keep this one close for a long time.
The Fighting Jarvis Joneses of Carver Columbus win this one.
Now, we've picked the 6 easiest in this segment. I saved these 3 for last because I think they may be the 3 hardest ones that we have to pick here in this segment. Let's start in the private division. GAC is at Hebron Christian. GAC, of course, Bo's dog. He's going to take the Spartans to go to the Lions and upset the defending state champs in the private division.
Yeah, I just don't see that. They've creamed everybody. So give me Hebron.
These private school, or I'm sorry, Walker, you go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's fine.
Well, I'm not going to make my. I'm not going to make my.
He's out of turn.
He's not making his pick.
I'm not making my pick.
Analysis
I'm not
coming.
making my pick.
Analysis.
This is not my pick. It's not my pick.
Okay, I was going to say
these Gwinnett County private schools need to play each other more often.
Yes.
GAC, Hebron, Wesley, and Providence. We need to see more matchups between these teams. That was just what I wanted to say.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I sensed the analysis coming from Caleb, so I was going to let him get it in. It's that scoreboard show connection that we have through the phone. That I just knew that was coming, and there was
I'm
no
just
pick.
the only one that gets the boo from Brian over there.
The Lions win this game by a lot. Hebron.
This is a tough one to call because I think GAC is playing really, really well.
They are.
You know what? Give me the Spartans.
How about this? If GAC beats Hebron,
bigger school.
Yeah, if GAC beats Hebron, North Hall beat GAC, and yet North Hall, could not get past.
But here's the thing:
LaGrange.
GAC a much bigger school than Hebron Christian, and I don't mean that just in terms of population. I think they're bigger on the lines of scrimmage, and I think that's going to play a big factor.
Okay.
It's going to be an interesting one there.
Yep.
At Hebron Christian. Let's go to the 3A bracket now. LaGrange at Sandy Creek. The Grangers playing extremely good football right now. Bo's going to take the home team, though, in this one. He takes Sandy Creek.
Well, they've been ranked number 1 just about all year. They're just something. I'm just feeling it. So to keep my unbeaten streak going, I'm going with LaGrange.
Ooh. I thought I was going to be the only one to take the Grangers. I'm taking LaGrange because they can run the football, score points, but they have the ability to slow things down and control tempo if they want to. Give me LaGrange close in another upset.
I think, LaGrange, probably felt like they should have won the semifinal game last year at Jefferson. We can dispute that if we want to, but we're not. We're not going to do that.
I was half blind. No.
We're just gonna forget about that, but I'm sure they haven't. I was really hoping Brian Perkle was going to pull out some ZZ top tier just on luck, because I'm taking LaGrange in this one on the road at Sandy Creek.
Bo is the only one to take Sandy Creek. Now we go to the 4A bracket, our final game in this segment. It is the only game that wasn't on the Dark Horse Dogs because it did not fit the criteria of point spread. It's a pick'em between 2 private schools in 4A. Marist has to travel all the way down to Benedictine. Bo's taking Marist to win on the road.
This is like Marist took down North Oconee on the road. North Oconee had been battling injuries. It was only a 3-point game? Give me Benedictine at home.
So here's where I'm at with this. And Brian, you can shot clock me in a minute if you want to, because I'm still trying to figure this out, and I've just got to talk it out loud.
Okay.
Marist beat North Oconee at North Oconee, the defending state champs. Buford, didn't they play Benedictine earlier in the year?
Yes.
And they boat raced Benedictine at Benedictine.
Pretty
right?
much, yes.
Buford, obviously a much better team than Marist. But Marist playing really good football right now. I think I'm going to take Marist. I talked myself out of Benedictine.
Okay.
I'm going to take Marist in this game.
Are you surprised at yourself?
Yes, I am, because I honestly thought, like, Benedictine has rolled through the 4A playoffs. I mean, they're winning games. They scored 80 last week.
80
against
to
Central
32.
Carrollton.
80 to 32 last week.
Yeah, but I'm taking Marist.
Here's the thing. I think this Benedictine team is just a buzzsaw. Like, I think there's a chance that Marist is playing their best ball of the year, and there's a chance it just doesn't matter because Benedictine's just hit buzzsaw mode.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's going to happen. I take Benedictine big in this one, actually, at home.
Central Carroll scored 32 points. And,
And
they got beat by 48.
Yeah. There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, just
That's
insane
crazy
numbers
right there. That's insane.
So those are 9 picks in the first part of our picking segment. We've got 3 more games to pick. They're the 3 that we'll have on our airwaves. And we'll have that for you on the other side. We might also throw a little SEC championship talk in there real quick because I think that warrants a little bit. But we got 3 games to pick. We'll pick them on the other side. This is the Pick'em Show on WDUN.
Wake up and speak up.
Wake up. Come on, wake up, America.
Join the conversation weekdays at 9 with the Martha Zoller Show on North Georgia's News Talk, AM 550 and FM 102.9 WDUN.
Great Chevy vehicles and excellent customer service. Those were the cornerstones that Charles and Jeanette Hardy built Hardy Chevrolet on in 1982, and that hasn't changed. This is Mike Cormier inviting you to Hardy Chevrolet. Come see how enjoyable car shopping can be. From our sales team to our service department, we're all about customer service. Like Charles Hardy always said,
we love you and we need you.
Together, let's drive. At Hardy Chevrolet, Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville, online at hardychevrolet.com.
It's such a wonderful time of the year. Cooler weather, beautiful colors.
And the best part, Georgia football.
Well, that's true. And Autry's Ace Hardware, we have everything you need to pull the dogs through to another victory.
We're your tailgating headquarters. Grills, paper products, and accessories to impress your squad.
And serving pieces, decor, flags, you name it, whether you're cheering the dogs from the stadium or your recliner.
Come by today and check out our Bulldog merchandise. Autry's Ace Hardware on Thompson Bridge Road in Gainesville.
Go Dogs!
At M&R Rental and Equipment, we're not just about renting out top-notch tools and machinery. We're also your trusted partner for all your equipment maintenance needs. From small power tools to large heavy-duty machinery, our team of certified professionals are trained to keep them in peak condition. And with our affordable maintenance packages, you can focus on what you do best, creating, building, and achieving. Visit mnrrental.com for more information. M&R Rental and Equipment, building your projects, supporting your success.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
Good food and good folks make a good meal. You bring the folks and we'll take care of the food. This is Grant Nichols. At Loretta's Country Kitchen, we use only top quality ingredients like our new Springer Mountain chicken tenders. They're bigger than other tenders and are locally raised, so they're always fresh. Speaking of fresh, we have an entire walk-in cooler dedicated just to fresh produce. That's why we say at Loretta's, it's all good. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, it's Loretta's Country Kitchen, Mundy Mill Road in Oakwood.
Always here, always local.
From the Access WDUN Hardy Chevrolet Newsroom, a Tuesday night fight at Lake Lanier Islands led to 4 men facing criminal charges. Details at Access WDUN and coming up on North Georgia's News Talk.
streaming online at accesswdun.com. Video streaming on YouTube at Access WDUN Sports. And on air at AM 550 and FM 102.9. It's the Pick'em Show on North Georgia's News Talk.
Final segment here on the Pick'em Show for the semifinal round of the GHSA playoffs. We've also got a quarterfinal game thrown in there. We've talked at nauseum about that situation. So let's just go ahead and start with that game as we wrap up our picks. It's 5A quarterfinal action between Gainesville and Langston Hughes. That'll be on 1240 and 94.5 The Lake. Tomorrow, Caleb, you'll have the call of it. Bo is picking Langston Hughes to knock off Big Red.
You know, this is tough because I really felt like Gainesville, if all of the stuff hadn't happened, I like the momentum that Gainesville had. And another 2-week layoff, all the stuff that's been going on. I think they can win this game, absolutely, but I don't know, just the layoff. It's huge. It's the number one team. They are, if there's a team that's more loaded than Gainesville in 5A, it's Hughes. So based on that, you know, I would love to see Big Red get this, but I just feel like Hughes being at home, all the stuff that's been going on, it's going to be a real tough battle for Big Red. Give me Hughes.
Here's where I'm at with it, Caleb. Nigel Newkirk and Kareem Hewley are going to be on the field. Yes, there are 4 players that won't see the field. Gainesville holding them out for disciplinary reasons based off of the scuffle that happened 2 weeks ago. But having Hewley on the field to throw the football around, having Newkirk to balance the offense, Langston Hughes going to be a tough out, but I think Gainesville has enough offensively to win this one. They could have beaten Roswell in this same sort of scenario in the regular season finale. I think that experience pays off for Big Red. I'm going to take Big Red close.
It's not even that for me. It's really just more of a vibe, feel thing for me. Just watching all of this play out over the last 2 weeks, it just doesn't feel like this story ends in Fairburn. It just doesn't. It doesn't feel right that this is where the story would end.
I would agree. I don't think I don't feel like it's going to end there, but you're going into, just incredibly hostile circumstance with a massively loaded and talented team.
I think Gainesville gets off the bus with an edge, and I think it plays well for them. And I'm going to take the Red Elephants to win this game at Langston Hughes.
Well, use my motivation of picking against you guys. Let's go Big Red.
Just on vibes.
Right.
I got no football feel for this game at all. But
it's a hard one because of all the stuff.
Yeah, it's hard to get football feel on a game that has this much national attention on it because of all the stuff off the field. A game that has a lot of national attention because of the stuff on the field is the game that'll be on AM 550 at 8 p.m. Buford is at Valdosta. Titletown, Buford, Valdosta, heavyweight matchup. Bo's going to take the Wolves to take down Valdosta on the road.
Buford's played in front of big crowds. Look, they play him at Philip Beard Stadium, which arguably the biggest high school stadium in Georgia, if not one of the biggest in the country.
Warner Robins has a huge stadium.
However, this is just a different place than any other place. You typically, in big situations like this, you don't go down to Roswell and win this game. That's not been the norm. However, another stat, it's despite the 24 state titles, Valdosta only has 1 in the 2000s. Buford is the team in Georgia. They're the standard. I think Buford goes down there and they show everybody how you get it done in Titletown, hostile territory, semifinals, state playoff game berth on the line. Give me the Wolves.
I've been waffling on this game because I do think that this is the toughest opponent that Buford will have played so far in the playoffs, and maybe the toughest opponent they've played all year, potentially. But with that in mind, I think about Buford hosting Valdosta 5 years ago and the great environment they had. Do you remember how Buford just smacked Valdosta right square in the nose at the start of that football game? I'm wondering if Valdosta, the blood runs deep down there.
It does.
At Valdosta.
And even though there's nobody on that team, on this team.
They still know. They still know what happened.
Don't forget down there. That's for sure.
I'm going to take Valdosta, I think.
Ooh.
I don't have a good record picking against Buford, but I'm going to take Valdosta.
Brian, we had a pick out of order there. Can we get the...
I did it. Darn it.
Violation!
You took Valdosta, right, Caleb?
Yeah. He is all over me, and he almost let Caleb get away with one.
I'm going to take Buford. I think Buford is the most complete team in the state of Georgia, and so for that reason, I like Buford to roll in this game. I think that would make an excellent 6A final between Buford and Carrollton, and I hope that that's what ends up happening. Although Buford North Gwinnett would be a lot of fun too. Yeah. Don't get me wrong in that. I think that would be a lot of fun.
I feel like it's a good omen for the Wolves that I made a fool of myself while picking against them.
I would totally agree. Walker, there's a lot of, we've had a lot of activity on the YouTube page. Why don't you give some of the picks?
We got one more game.
We got another game to pick.
Oh, we got Jefferson left.
Only
I
2
thought
minutes.
we already
2 minutes.
Okay. May not have time for that. Okay, sorry.
Is at Jefferson on FM 102.9 tomorrow night. The Dragons at home as the top seed. Bo will be on the call, and he's taking the home team in that game, the Dragons.
Oh yeah, I'm no doubt. I'm at this point, it's state championship or bust for Jefferson for me.
Yeah, give me Jefferson to roll in this game. I think the front seven, the biggest difference. They slow down the leading rusher in the state and Ty Cummings.
By the way, Philip in Pendergrass texted us in at 770-535-2911, said Dragons should have a great crowd since the Panthers lost. And that could be true. You could get a little bit of maybe some of the folks at Jackson County still want to go to a ball game, maybe head over there.
Why does it just seem like I don't see Jackson County people ever rooting for Jefferson?
I don't know. I've seen stranger things.
That would be like Auburn people showing up for Alabama and like in the national championship game. I don't see that.
I've seen a lot of that in Hall County, though, over the years.
Yeah,
this team
but
makes
this
a run,
Jackson
so
County
other
and
teams.
Jefferson. That's a different level right there.
Give me
I don't
Jefferson.
see that happening.
Give me Jefferson.
Don't see that.
Caleb, tailgate show tomorrow, 6:30 airtime. What do we got on it?
6:30, and we're going to preview all of these games and get you ready for kickoff. As we'll be a little bit of an abbreviated show because we're only down to 3 teams left. But like you said, we'll be taking the air at 6:30, walk you up to 7:20, where we will then break away to our crews. But do remember the Buford-Valdosta game kicks off at 8, so we will not be joining our crew there until more around 7:50-ish. So keep that in mind.
It should be a good night of football. By the way, quickly, your thoughts. Does Alabama get in if they lose to Georgia?
Yes, they do, because they're not going to punish a team playing in the SEC title game.
As a Bama fan, I sure hope they don't, but I don't know. I think, you're right. The ACC thing, that could create a lot of chaos. If BYU beats Texas Tech, that could throw a lot of things. I would not be shocked to see Alabama not getting in if all those weird things happen.
I think Notre Dame needs to be worried about that. Don't think Alabama does.
I don't know.
3 games tomorrow. West Lawrence and Jefferson on 102.9. Buford Valdosta on 550. Gainesville at Hughes on 94.5. The Lake. For our entire crew, enjoy the semifinals of the GHSA playoffs. This has been the Pick'em Show on WDUN.